In a world, 4 friends, 1 mission, to bring freedom to everyone involved.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm doing a thing for the podcast.
Dude, just say the name.
Fine. It's the Freedom Friends Podcast.
Well, fuck boys.
Fuck boys.
Well,
What? Are we doing a podcast?
Oh, what's this podcast you speak of?
I don't know.
I thought we just put these things in front of our mouth holes and let the
I thought that
nature
was,
take the rest.
I thought that was what I did with my whiskey.
So,
Speaking of whiskey,
this is the Freedom Friends podcast, the most mediocre podcast on television.
Ish.
So,
we're so mediocre. We don't know which
we don't even
what
know how the fuck
platform
we
we're
put
on.
this thing out. I'm Jazz. That's Scott and John. There's Dave over there in the corner
Yeah, baby.
Filling in for Mikey.
because
I don't know. Them some big shoes to fill.
Mikey's out of state. He's not here right now, and we are coming to you not even fucking close to live from where?
The Capitol. Oh, no,
hold on, because that's
No, that was last week.
That was last week.
Yeah. No, this is Warfighter Tobacco Studios.
In currently chilly
Slightly chilly.
San Antonio, Texas.
Yesterday it was snowing.
It snowed here, which was just
snowing.
weird.
What the fuck, Texas?
It happens every once in a while. Every once in a while it happens. So, fuck, boys, it has been an interesting roller coaster on the first couple days of what was supposed to be a better year here.
We sure do like to avoid political talk, but gosh, this might be a hard week to avoid.
I will say we made it 5 days. We had 5 days of normalcy.
Yeah, I had high hopes for
I
2021.
was getting excited.
I had high hopes.
And then somebody, a fucking midget, came out from underneath and kicked me in the nuts.
Yeah.
I was just high.
This is one of those situations where it was like, there's no way fucking season 2 can be near as bonkers as season 1 was, and they were like, first episode, what up, bitch? And it was like, holy fuck.
And they slow played it too. Those couple days, it's like
Everything was going to
they
be
start out the
groovy.
beginning. You're like, oh, this could be really good. This could be really different.
Yeah.
No, just fucking kidding.
Yeah.
No. Fucking bonkers shit. So, anyways, Scotty, how was your weekend, buddy?
It was good. You know, I did a little packing, so that's about all I did.
I don't like the way you said that.
Jazz is eyeballing the wild turkey long branch that is sitting on the bar.
Clearly, Jazz doesn't listen to the episodes when he's not on them.
No,
Exactly.
it's not very high octane. It just tastes like it is.
Nope.
Dave, we may need a bottle of Jameson behind you there. I do need a refill.
There's
And,
Weller right here, so fucking Weller gets the job done almost every time.
Senor?
So anyway, sorry about that. Let's get back to Scott's weekend.
Yeah. Well, he's got to drain his tequila first.
Sorry. Yeah, so I did some packing, and I was, just kind of chilled out most of the weekend.
Yeah, because you're right around the corner.
Yeah,
It's,
I think Friday I closed on a house and then got some moving to do. So that'll be good. Family's looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that. I watched the news. That I should have avoided.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to avoid it though.
Don't recommend. Don't
Yeah.
recommend.
Yeah.
The
1 star.
worst show. Worst show on television.
1 out of 10. Do not recommend.
Yeah. No, other than that, I had a pretty decent weekend. How about you? What'd you do, Jess?
Before we skip off of Scott,
Apparently I'm forgetting something.
so I was gone all weekend. So I get back. Scott and I kind of do a little debrief. Get back on the same page. Everything go full speed ahead in the work week.
Mhm.
And one of the things that we talked about, and I know Scott has talked about it before on a podcast, and maybe a little bit on the live feeds, and I don't think so on the debates, but he's got some asshole neighbor dogs.
I do.
He's talked about them a couple times.
A couple times.
The dogs, I don't fault the dogs. I fault the neighbors. I have some of the shittiest neighbors, and I cannot wait till Friday when I get to move the fuck out that neighborhood.
But he had a.
But yeah, okay. So Saturday morning, not very often do I sleep in, or do I even desire to sleep in. There is an occasional Saturday morning where I really I stayed out kind of late or up late, and I just wanted to, because I had nothing to do the next day. I want to sleep in. So it was about 8:15, 8:30, something like that. My neighbor dog, directly across the fence in my backyard, starts going ape shit for an hour and a half of solid barking. So I snapped just a little bit, and I got the fuck right up out of bed, got dressed, and pretty much sprinted around the block to my neighbor's house. There was a couple guys working like right on her property line, and I don't know who lives there. I've never met the people that live there, right? I walk up and I see these guys standing there, and I'm like, "You live here?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "Okay." And I go to the door, and I beat on the fucking door and rang the doorbell simultaneously for about 2.5, 3 minutes before somebody came to the door. And a lady opens the door in her bathrobe, because obviously she was sleeping, which I don't know fucking how. And I said, "Hey," or she's like, "Hey, can I help you?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Can you shut your fucking dog up?" And she's like, "Well, I can try." I'm like, "You better try, because I've been listening to him for 2 fucking years. And I am at the point where now I'm just going to call the cops every time I hear it. Every time I hear it. Like, I'm just done, right? I'm being rude. But 2 years of every Saturday, every morning, I just usually leave the house before the dog starts barking. But my wife has to hear it. Mm-hmm. Every fucking day for 2 goddamn years, I hear these fucking dogs barking. And it's not like they're barking at a squirrel and they quit. It is hours of solid barking, and my neighbor's not giving a fuck. And so I snapped. I probably shouldn't have, but I have not heard a dog bark in all 3 of my neighbor's yards since I went over there. So I'm going to chalk this one up as a success.
That's a win.
Yeah.
That's totally a win.
Yeah.
Right?
100% a win.
Nobody's called the cops on me for being over aggressive. So that's a good thing. I must have just hit the perfect level of aggression.
Well, any posts in the neighborhood Facebook group?
No, I've been monitoring. But no, when I leave, I'm going to buy trophies. I'm going to buy 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place. And I'm going to have them engraved with the 1st place, worst goddamn neighbor ever. 2nd place, worst goddamn neighbor ever. And 3rd place, worst goddamn neighbor ever. And I'm going to mail them to my neighbors as soon as I leave the neighborhood, just so they can fucking hold on to this trophy. And it's going to be like one of those dog trophies where it's
it's all prim and proper.
It's a person holding a dog, you know. And I'm gonna, like,
what I think might
I like dogs.
Might be
Don't get me
worse
wrong.
than getting the 1st place trophy in that is that
Second.
you're the 3rd place. It's like,
Well, the 3rd place winner is going to be my neighbors who moved in right next door. They've only been there for about 2 months, so they haven't earned 1st place yet because of time limitations.
Yeah.
But yeah.
yeah, but could you imagine being such a shitty neighbor and you're not even good at being a shitty neighbor, so you don't even win the shitty neighbor competition?
This is just like insult to injury. You're like, I moved here 2 months ago and
Yeah.
someone mailed me a 3rd place trophy for worst
Yeah.
goddamn neighbor.
It's like, I couldn't even. I'm even bad at being a bad neighbor.
I'm like second
Yeah.
loser at being a bad neighbor.
I might engrave it like for being the shittiest neighbor and shut your fucking dog up. I might
Yeah.
put that on the bottom line.
That does come down to I agree with you. I don't blame the dog.
No,
I blame the fucking shitty owner.
I like dogs, man.
I'm a
I
dog
really,
guy.
I
Love
really do.
dogs.
But Jesus Christ, have some fucking respect.
Yeah.
You fucking, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. 2 years I've had to listen to.
Yeah.
There has not been a 5-minute period I've gone in my backyard and not heard a dog bark in 2 years.
Actually, I'd have moved along
In 2 years.
I've
I've been trying, man. But
We
yeah.
speaking of dogs barking, I think one of my neighbors just happened to get a new dog,
Oh yeah.
because Dave says it's only been about a week now or so.
It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks that
Since I got back.
fucking yippy thing's been barking.
Well,
It's on the front side. It's on across the street.
oh, that's
Yeah,
that's
so
better.
he actually doesn't have to deal with it.
no,
but
I don't hear shit.
the massive windows in the bedroom
Yeah.
that face the road. Yeah, I can
mean,
hear that
master
little
on the backside.
cocksucker real good.
It's so nice.
I would, I even told my wife, I'm like, hey, we're moving. there's probably an HOA. I'm going to be on the board because I will not, like, I plan on being here a while.
Yeah, I will not tolerate that shit.
I am going to be able to live here happily, and I'm going to I'll deal with HOA shit
Right.
just so I have a fucking say in the neighborhood.
I have my first HOA meeting the 27th of this month.
Did you go to it?
No, it's virtual.
on the
It's on the 27th.
Oh,
I
it's
haven't
coming
gone
up.
yet.
Coming up. Okay.
No, I did. It was great, and I'm just going to wait for it again.
See, that's the trick, right? Is instead of waiting to get fucked with by the HOA, just become the HOA so that you can just be like,
Yeah,
"Can't fuck with me.
I definitely want to try to get
I'm the one that does the
on
fucking."
there. We'll see. We'll see how this meeting goes.
Yeah.
It'll
But
be
anyway,
interesting.
yeah. So that was,
Yeah. I thought that was great.
Nice. I like it.
yeah. She's lucky I put pants on to walk over there.
That's the only thing that made it better. Just show up in just some floppy ass boxers. Just
Yeah.
like, let's
Oh no, he'd have run over there shirt cocking it.
straight Winnie the Pooh.
Man, my eyes are up here.
Don't laugh, it's cold out, bitch.
She's like, oh, don't worry, I didn't see anything. Fuck you. Anyway,
Oh shit.
so Jazz, how was your weekend?
My weekend was pretty fucking mellow, but my wife's out of town.
I was gonna say it's
Yeah.
pretty quiet, wasn't it?
Yeah, she
I-
she took off Thursday.
I think I
and,
talked to you Thursday night, and you told me your plans for the weekend. So I want
They
to
were
say,
aggressive
I want to
plans.
say what your plans were before you get into the explanation to see if the same things
All right, go
happened. So I talked to Jazz prior to the weekend, and he's like, Caitlin left for the weekend. He goes, I think I'm just going to lock myself in my apartment, and I'm going to paint figurines all weekend long. And I was like, whoa, why is that? He goes, well, if a civil war kicks off, I'm not going to have time to paint anything. So I might as well get them done now. That way I'm prepared.
And yeah, I didn't leave my apartment.
First day with your new hands or what?
Yeah. But no, I didn't leave my apartment. I painted figurines, and the only real interaction I had with anybody
The DoorDash guy.
was no, because I went to Costco before she left, so it was loaded out the house. It was my buddy Bill, who's a friend of the show. We've all met Bill, who's also a nerd like me. He came over last night and brought a bunch of his new figurines, and so we sat there and actually talked about some of the current events that are going on, and actually smoked some Warfighters on the back patio and chatted and fucking put figurines together and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it was I stuck to my plan of like, if shit goes sideways in the next couple of weeks, I'm not gonna have time to button up the paint job on this army, so might as well get the time I can in now so that it's good to go.
Well, that'll help you through the Civil War, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Having a whole army at your disposal.
yeah. Well, I mean, what was I going to do? Go buy more ammo? It's like there's.
I can see it now. They're all set up and like right inside of his front door. Somebody breaches the door. He's like, attack! And they just none of them move.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Do you know
"Fuck."
do you know the advantage I'd have in that though? I just break in, got all my dudes just spread out, and I'm like, fire! And they're all just like, wait, what the fuck? I'm like,
You think you're failing until they take a step onto them.
And then
they're
like,
like,
there it
"Oh."
goes.
Yeah.
oh, son of a bitch!
But then
I
again,
have full distraction, and
they're
then just
probably wearing shoes. So.
yeah. But no, she was gone, so I did some computer work and stuff like that needed to get done, and for some clients and stuff like that, sent that stuff out. But yeah, I didn't leave, man. Like I fucking holed up and was like, that's it. No, that's not true. I did go out one day. I had breakfast with my dad, and after that, I stopped by a friend of mine's game shop because she redid the entire interior and wanted me to come by and see it. So I stopped by that and stuff. But
Nice.
no, I pretty much stuck to the plan. It was it was pretty good. So it was a very mellow.
So what percentage of the army did you get completed?
Oh shit! I'm only like 12%.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
Hopefully the Civil War doesn't kick off soon.
well. I mean, altogether, it's. I think I have 112 models that have to get painted
Wow.
for me to finish the army. So it's And some of them are like tanks, and some of them are
Yeah.
all the way down to like little infantry dudes. So
That is definitely a guy with no kids' hobby.
yeah, 100%, 100%. Both from a cost and time
Yeah,
aspect.
yeah.
Of like, but yeah, I don't know. Like everybody has their thing, right?
Yeah.
Problem is, I have too many hobbies.
You've got a lot of things.
That are all of my hobbies are too expensive. Like that's the problem. Like I don't have any like inexpensive hobbies.
I have hobbies that I've not put $1 into because they're too expensive that I
Yeah.
want, that I just can't
Yeah.
get into yet. Like paragliding.
Tank.
I want to do paragliding.
Tank.
It's kind of expensive. Oh, I want a tank.
Oh, speaking of tank, I solidified a trailer option for it
Oh,
this past weekend.
nice.
nice.
Okay, we'll talk offline.
Well, the problem with my hobbies, well, and you guys know, like all of us have several weapons that have all been lost in a boating accident recently. But to replace that collection is it's expensive. Like it's a fucking expensive hobby to be in. And it's things like that, or like my game modeling stuff, or like I'm big into computers and technology and stuff like that.
Did
So,
you just say your gay modeling stuff?
yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Gay modeling.
So no, my
I knew I came across you in one of those videos.
So
my
you really
my
are
games.
spinning up the
Yeah.
skinny and a mini, huh?
Yeah, skinny and a mini, baby. What up? No, my games and modeling, and it's and then like computers and tech and stuff like that. They're like not cheap hobbies to have because it's like I think I want to work on my computer. That's okay. That graphics card that I want is only $2,300. Like, so it's a little brutal. But and then the other big thing I'm doing is I'm really big into cars. Well, now I live in a condo with an underground garage. Like, what am I going to do? Roll my fucking tool chest in there and be like, don't mind me. Like, so I don't even do that one.
I don't think
like,
you can even put a spoiler on a mini.
You can.
Ooh,
It's a rear deck spoiler.
a nice tall one.
No, they're like the ducktail ones that you put on the
yeah.
back and stuff like that. Which on a mini, they're actually effective because you can end up with
They're effective on anything you put them on.
Especially like Honda.
yeah,
Yeah.
your 2-foot wing on your Honda Civic. That's a front wheel drive car.
Don't tell anyone.
It's a front wheel drive car. If you create downforce in the rear, you're actually reducing your contact patch. But
But if you flip your wing upside down, it creates lift and
it drives the
more
nose
downforce.
down.
God
Yeah.
damn, it's science. I like
Yeah.
it.
No, most of the stuff on the Mini, the spoilers and stuff that exist for them,
Yeah.
is actually to reduce turbulence on the back of the car, so it creates drag. So it pushes the air up and off the car instead of creating turbulence on the back of the hatch. So there's Minis out there that look like if you get bored, go look up the Mini GP1. That thing looks,
Or better known as skinny and mini.
or better known as Skinny to me. No, the Mini GP1 is this absolutely bonkers one that Mini itself put out.
Oh, nice.
And they pulled like 900 pounds out of it and then made it like 312 horsepower. So it's like almost 1,000 pounds lighter.
A 1-to-1 ratio.
Yeah, so it's essentially a
Horsepower
1-to-1
weight.
ratio. And the thing is absolutely, it's bonkers and it looks it. Like when you look at it, it's just like, this is an absolutely insane looking automobile. But I think they only made like 3,000 of them globally or something like that. They weren't bad. I think they were like 45 grand. But
It's a fucking really expensive go-kart.
right. But yeah, so I had a extremely mellow weekend. Watched a lot of Netflix and Amazon shows and stuff that I know my wife doesn't give a fuck about. So watched a lot of that, and yeah, I had it pretty easy. You, however, you went on a killing spree this weekend, or assisted other people in a
I
killing spree this
assisted.
weekend. Yeah.
I was assisting homicides.
Mm,
And
no, it's more like eradication.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, we did the Hero Sports annual dog and knife hunt this past weekend at the Carrabba Ranch, and just outside of College Station, Texas. And it was another amazing success, just like last year was. Except this year, I wasn't the stabber, and I wasn't the stabbee also. I was just assisting Hero Sports and organization and support, helping make sure everybody did the right thing and everybody was safe. Nobody got hurt or injured. Everyone had the right equipment. That kind of thing.
I seen a video,
Yeah,
and it was of a dog trying to rip the penis off of a hog.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yep, that did happen.
That was
That's a thing.
very graphic.
So there's
What, you never been on Backpage before?
I know we said it when we were talking about it last year, but I'll kind of explain how it goes again. So they're called bay dogs, and they're smaller, quick, agile dogs, and that just get on a scent of a hog, and they just haul ass through the woods until they find, like, literally come face to face, a couple feet away from a hog, and then the hog will take off running, and these bay dogs will literally kind of chase it until they, for lack of better words, corral it in the middle of the woods, and the hog doesn't run anymore. And when that happens, they have GPS trackers and all the dogs. They see that, they'll watch the dog kind of start running and everything like that. And then they see it stop and they're like, oh, okay, we're on it. And then they'll also start barking. You can hear it. And then they have catch dogs, they call them bulldogs, which they're not bulldogs. They're a combination, usually a mix, but they're Catahoula, Cur, Pit, Doggo.
Well, they're functioning in the same way that the breeds that got the name Bulldog function.
Correct.
So,
I'm
going to try to explain a visual of what one of these dogs look like. So, say you are a 18-year-old and you join Special Forces, and you are fighting terrorism until you're about 42. When you're 42, you're pretty grizzled. You've been through combat most of your life. That's what this dog looks like.
Yeah, I got a bunch of pictures of.
That makes me think of that.
These motherfuckers have you're like, there's one of them that was sitting in the back, like he was in the back of a side by side, and I'm probably like 40 yards away, and he's just mean mugging the fuck out of me. And I took a picture of it. And when you zoom in on this dog,
oh man,
you zoom in on this dog, and it looks like, oh my fuck. Here, I'm just gonna pull it up and show you.
What you just said reminded me of. Did you ever see The Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton? Which was like their second attempt at making...
So that's how far away I was, right?
Yeah.
Look at this motherfucker just staring me down.
Fuck you.
He's just like, what the fuck are you taking a picture of me for?
So in that one, there's an actor that plays this. He's like a British SAS dude that's like working with the Americans on like hunting down the Hulk or whatever. And there's a conversation where he's talking to him. And he's like, how old are you, Captain? 46, 47? And the dude goes, 38. He goes, takes a toll, doesn't it? This dude had been like a special operations dude like his whole career and just looked rowdy. And it was like, he's like, what are you, 46, 47? He's like, 38. So yeah, like it's an accurate description of like, because we've all met those dudes, the guys that were special operations for 20 years. And it's like, that dude's 36 and looks like fucking 50 something, like just rowdy.
But yeah, so these bay dogs, they'll get the hog kind of not really trapped, but just it doesn't run. Like they cut off all the avenues the hog to move. And so then we'll come in with the catch dogs, the bulldogs. And you're about 20, 30 yards away, and they'll release those, and those big fucking dogs come in and they take that hog right down to the ground.
I just like the fucking vests that they wear.
Yeah, they have Kevlar collars, neck guards.
And
they have Kevlar
the
vests.
body vest and stuff.
So they're on the hogs. They're called cutters. It's the big tusks that stick out, and the hogs they aim for under the armpits of whatever animal they're up against, and if they catch it, it'll go right through the ribs, puncture a lung, get a heart, hit an artery, something.
It's the same reason you shoot there.
Exactly. There's so many vitals.
It's the same reason you put a round there when you're hunting.
And so it looked like a life vest, but it was all Kevlar, and it had extra thick spots under the armpits of the catch dogs. The bay dogs, the ones that run around trying to find the dog, they have nothing but a regular collar and a fucking GPS tracker. And these fuckers are like, whoa, get away. I'm good. But once those catch dogs get the hog on the ground, that's when we got the old saying, I eat ass. Because those bay dogs are like, I'm fucking in and I'm going path of least resistance.
Right through the butthole.
They go butthole. They try to rip the dick off. They go ears, anything, whatever they can do without trying to go through that
soft
nasty,
tissue.
thick hide.
I picture the running dogs as all females and the killing dogs as all males for some reason.
So one of those beasts that I showed you that looked like that battle-hardened motherfucker is a female.
Yeah.
And she is, oh my God. Like that's that one dog that like, it's in the back of the side by side and I'm petting it, rubbing it up on it, it's loving on me, everything like that. But when it's game time, I was like, I'll get out of the way.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, ma'am, after you.
Actually, when I was still in dog training and stuff like that, the PSA dogs and stuff like that I was working with, I wouldn't get females. because the males were literally, they were easier to dial in. The females they get to the point of like so aggressive that you're like, you fuck around and make the wrong motion and shit, and nope, like I wouldn't do it. So males were they were literally easier to work with.
Yeah.
And the females would get overly territorial. So they would they'd be really good with their handler, but even somebody else living in the house, they
have this one monster catch dog that dwarfs all the rest of them. And he is literally the definition of an alpha in a sea of alphas. Every dog that they have there is a fucking, I mean, you drop it off at a fucking pound and it will destroy every other fucking dog. Like, no, this is my house, bitch. Every single dog that was out there. And then you have like the epitome of the alpha that is there. And like all these other dogs are like, oh yeah, look at me. And then that one walks out and everyone's like, just kidding.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, it was great. We went out. So we had four vets that went out with us to do the actual stabbing. And then it's amazing to watch, to see how this is growing on this one ranch, and to see the support that's poured into it, all volunteered, nobody's paid, and to help out. Like we had 4 guys that were the quote unquote hunters for the weekend.
Right.
At the peak on Saturday, when the dogs were running and everybody was there doing everything and making sure everything was done, there's probably 35 people on that ranch for 4 hunters.
Yeah,
there were crazy. 10 side-by-sides that were filled. I mean, there were 4 dog teams. There's probably 25 dogs that were on the property.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Friday night we went out. We went and sat in blinds. I got a hog, and then they got 3 or 4 hogs on the other blinds. So we came back in, had a bunch of beers that night, had some amazing food. Early Saturday morning, got up. There's still frost everywhere because it was cold as fuck. And we got out with the dogs and just started hitting it hard. By 9:30, on my GPS tracker, we were already 3 miles in on foot work that we put in. By the end of the day, we did about 10 miles. Some of those dogs did up 25, 30 miles through the woods. We were on about 1,000-acre piece of property. So we ended up getting, I think we got 6 or 7 hogs throughout the day.
Nice.
We got 3 before fucking 9 a.m. And I'm like, this is going to be a great day. But then the dogs started running. Some of the hogs weren't baying up right. You're dealing with an animal that you can't really control how everything goes. We had a good game plan. But they kept running outside the property lines, and, we're not going to take 10 side-by-sides and, a couple, dozen dudes on somebody else's property. We're just going to call the dogs back and, turn everything around. So the afternoon, we went to about 4:00 in the afternoon, and then the dogs were just fucking spent. So we kind of called it for that, went back in, and then I grabbed one of the guys, and then actually Big Dick Dirks, we've had on the show, Rich.
Yeah, and then I started getting nervous. So all of a sudden, I started getting text messages.
Yep.
From Big Dick Dirks.
So we're sitting in a blind.
And it was like selfies and shit of like him and John, like in a side-by-side. And they were like, hey, miss you, buddy. And I was like, hey, man, like we need to hook up soon. Like all the standard shit you do when your buddy sends you texts and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden, my phone dings. And it's a video. I play the video, and it's on John, and John goes, 2 dudes, 1 blind. And then it goes over, and Rich goes, 3 dudes, 1 blind, and like moved it, and there's another dude, and I'm like, oh God, I hope I don't keep getting more video. Like this.
So the other dude he's E6 active duty or active guard. He's a combat medic that got stuck on DA select recruiter duty as a fucking combat medic. I was like, bro. And so the worst, he kind of got fucked. But so the good thing is he's about to PCS soon, off recruiting duty, but they're sending him to California. And I'm like, fuck, good luck, man. But yeah, so we went out, sat in the blind, and kind of like how it was, at the last hunt, we ran that property. It was 1,000 acres of property. We ran that hard all day long. Except the difference is we actually saw some animals that night. We saw 3 white-tailed doe, but that was it. Nothing else. And then Sunday morning, we woke up. We were going to go out again. We still had one of the dog teams that was there. And so if it wasn't raining, because we had some weather that was supposed to come through, we were going to take the dogs out, do a quick little couple-hour run, see what else we could get. We woke up and it was raining already, cold as fuck. And so we decided against that. We decided against going sitting in the blinds. We just started, packing up camp and trying to get everybody on the road before shit got, nasty.
Yeah.
And about 3 hours after everybody left, they got about 3-4 inches of snow on the ranch in College Station, Texas.
Yeah.
And then one of the guys is flying back to New Mexico, one of the hunters, and his flight got canceled. So he had to get a rental car. Instead of going College Station, Dallas back to New Mexico, he had to get a rental car, drive to Houston, and then almost got bumped and then got delayed again and almost missed his connecting flight. And it just turned into a nightmare.
It's the only thing is, like, people like to, from outside Texas, when it snows here and everybody's like, oh, look at you, the couple inches. And it's like, it's not that we get it. It's not a lot of snow. What you have to understand is we are not equipped here to get rid of it.
There's preparation for it.
Nothing here. We don't have salt trucks and plows and like all of that shit.
Yep.
So when it snows, we have no way to get rid of the snow. Like you just have to wait
it would
for it
be
to go
a huge
away.
investment for 2 days out of the year.
Yeah.
Well, and
Where you
that's-
can just be like, hey,
Yeah.
we're closed.
Yeah.
today.
Well, and the thing is that
Just wait 12 hours.
the thing is that it's 2 days every 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, so it would be this massive investment
Yeah.
for
Nothing. Yeah.
nothing. And
Right.
so it's just one of those like, well, it snowed. And it's like, well, wait till tomorrow. Like, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's supposed to be 70 on Thursday.
right.
Yeah.
It's just one of those like my buddy Bill came over the day it was snowing. And I had gone outside and everybody was like, you know, it's snowing out? And I was like, no shit. So like went on my patio, it's snowing. And I was like, and I look over my balcony and there was like a couple little, like 2-foot little patches that where the snow like had landed on the grass so it didn't touch the ground. So it was still cold enough to kind of stick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Literally by the time he had left, it had warmed up to the point where it was all just now rain and all the snow was gone. And he
Yeah.
was only there like 4 hours. So, but yeah, we have no way to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So it's,
Well, we do. It's just temperature. And
yeah, we just wait.
yeah. just
Like
wait.
it's, but, no, the text messages and the pictures and shit were pretty funny. But I was getting like, and they were all coming from Dirk. So I was like, I have no idea where this is going. Like this,
How about you, Dave? How's your weekend?
My weekend was a repeat of last weekend. I did fuck all. Like, John was out of town. Me and the dog took up station on the couch, and I turned on Amazon. I'm not sure if I'm proud to say this or not, but I did watch the entire first season of Game of Thrones
Oh, hell yeah.
Way to
Game
go,
of
buddy.
Thrones is awesome.
it's a great show.
in one sitting.
In all fairness, that's only like 8 hours.
12.
No, it's
No, it's 12 hours. That's right. It's 12 hours.
it's like 10 or 11 episodes at about an hour apiece.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
yeah. They're all an hour long.
Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
Yeah, just wait. Game of Thrones, man. If you've never watched it, it only gets better.
Getting people through the first season.
Except for the last season.
The last season.
It
Yeah.
gets better until it gets
Yeah.
like super.
So the first
Yeah.
season is
Season
entirely
3 is the best.
Yeah.
3 and 4 were amazing.
Yeah.
So getting people through the first season though, because the first season is literally we have to introduce you to the 57 characters that are in
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
show.
And then we're going to kill 27 of them.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
the nice thing is
That
that every
show
time they kill
rotates.
somebody, they introduce like 3 more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's not like you're like down towards
Right.
like 3 people at the end. It's like, wow, the cast is there's only like 3 of you guys that actually started this fucking show,
Yeah.
and now it's
Yeah.
an all new cast all the way around. So, but
Favorite scene of Game of Thrones?
for me,
Yeah.
when Bolton fakes that he's the servant and goes in and frees him from the X and like takes him out
Yeah.
through like, and it acts like he's gonna free him, and then they walk back into the same room, and he opens it up and he goes, wait, and he's like, you really didn't think you were gonna get away that easy, did you? And then like bolts his ass back to it. I was like, that sheer mental fuck you of like, I'm here to help, your sister sent me, like I'm gonna
Yeah.
save your life, just to take him on this huge path to gain his trust, and then stuck his ass right back in there. That shit was brutal.
Mine was the blood wedding.
The Red Wedding was awesome.
Yeah, because that was like, oh, holy fuck, they just killed everybody in this show.
Yeah, the
Like,
Red
Jesus
Wedding.
Christ. Yeah.
I like the comeback with the this is all sorts of spoilers for you.
No,
so you're fucked.
it doesn't mean shit to him right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Red Wedding, when they go full circle and Arya comes back at the end and serves him dinner,
Yeah.
and it's like that full circle
Yeah.
of her going back to like level the playing field. I was
Yeah.
like, son of a bitch.
That was the finale, right?
It was like episode 2 of the last season. or
Okay.
whatever. But yeah, Arya through the last season was awesome.
That's a great show. I love that was a
But
great
yeah,
show.
Game of Thrones is fantastic.
Yeah, I'll work my way through it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a long slog. It's like
Yeah.
100 and something hours worth of content, but
Right.
it's
Well-
good. Like, you're not bored. Like, that's the nice thing about it. Like,
the first season was Saturday. Second season was Sunday.
that a boy.
I think I stopped last night at about 9:45, and I think it was getting ready to start like episode 6 or 7 of season 2.
Yeah.
Once again, this is a guy with no kids.
Yeah. 100%. I started watching.
I just had to take the dog out every once in a while.
I started
Most of the
watching-
time she
Like,
spent.
Kira, hurry up. I gotta get back. Gotta get back.
Oh no! Actually, it was kind of nice because it meant I had to actually stand for a few minutes.
Yeah. I started watching Stargate. Because
I watched a season or two of that.
they put all of Stargate onto Netflix.
Yeah.
Because it was an HBO show
I
or a
found-
Showtime show or
I
whatever.
found out they have another season of Vikings I didn't see. So I
Yeah.
started on that.
Yeah, I've started watching Vikings too.
That's a good one.
The problem is that I got hooked on Last Kingdom,
That's a good one too.
which is just Vikings but better. Like,
I don't know. I like Vikings
So,
better, I
but
think.
Vikings is pretty good.
Yeah.
Was it Last Kingdom's the one where they got like very dry humor in it, right?
There's a little bit of dry humor in it. Oh no, you're thinking of Norseman.
Yeah,
Yeah, Norseman.
Totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different.
Norseman is like British comedy
Yeah.
version of Vikings. Yeah,
That's like
yeah.
the spoof of both
Yeah.
of these shows. Yeah.
I feel like that is going to be more accurate though.
That's more like Letterkenny and
Yeah, that's like Letterkenny meets Last Kingdom.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like the Last Kingdom is like that could be one kingdom,
Well,
but then Norsemen could be like the rest of them. You know what I mean?
so Last Kingdom. So Vikings tells kind of the same story.
They
It's
do,
like the
yeah.
same
Same
kings, the
characters,
same
kind of,
all that
yeah.
kind of stuff. Last Kingdom is essentially a more historically accurate version.
but yet not probably.
But I mean, there's obviously
Yeah.
still some dramatization that goes on it, but it's a little bit more historically accurate and kind of exactly how kind of the Norsemen and the Anglos kind of like the Saxon
Yeah.
kingdom and all those broken kingdoms, all that kind of stuff, and how that king kind of tried to forge a united kingdom and all that kind of
So
stuff.
I think a lot of people have probably watched that in the 300 and then attended this last Trump rally and tried to storm the Capitol.
And they got
I
hacked in
can
the neck.
I can see where we're watching The Last Kingdom and Vikings and all this want to make you storm the Capitol, but Jesus Christ, people.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus. Like,
You didn't even bring your fucking swords.
Right?
I'd have more respect for it.
like
Straight up,
that-
if you'd have showed up clad in leather
Wait,
with
wait,
a broadsword, I'd have been like,
no.
all right,
You,
fuck,
you
fuck,
got
let's
you
go.
got the one guy with the horns and the face paint and the fucking. He kind of looked like a Viking,
But he didn't bring
But
a sword.
dude, you're 33 and live with your mom. You're not a Viking, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You're not a Viking. You vagina.
These are the same
God
guys that,
damn it.
when you start telling them how like Norse culture actually worked, and they're like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, that was a democratic society. Don't know if you knew that. Like their actual internal structure. They did go to other kingdoms like Raid and all that kind of
I
shit.
do
but
believe there was a lot of homosexuality too. That's not really spoken of.
there's a lot of that. Also in old school, like when you want to talk about like the Spartans, which are
Right.
Greeks and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, yeah, like that was literally a women are for procreation, men are for pleasure kind of society. Like,
Yeah, I wanted those.
yeah,
You know, I
like
don't understand why in that day and age that was the mindset. Like, was it that hard for guys to realize, like, oh, I can just pull out and then it's not for procreation, you know?
it
Instead of like, you know
Wait,
what? I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna go bang
John,
this dude.
Or this dude has a beehole, but so does this chick.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, I'm just
So
saying.
the big thing
like,
with that was that women were not considered equal in society.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of them served and you'd leave for years at a time and all that kind of stuff. So if you're banging your battle buddy, you're not technically cheating on your chick. Like, So it's
I think that rule still applies in some people's minds.
I am so glad that times have changed.
which, by the way, because I've studied like so much of that like era of history, every time somebody says like the phrase like that's a hard pipe hitting motherfucker, I'm always like, yeah, I'd like to see where that phrase came from.
Hey, I mean, I'm just really glad I don't have to testify in the origin of the word.
Yeah, like just
You know what that is?
You lost me.
yeah.
The origin of testify, you would actually hang on to the guy's junk when you testified to him that the words you were saying were true.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
I figured it would be the other way around. Like, I'm going to grab your shit, and you got to tell me the fucking truth.
Right? Like that should be the definition of interrogation.
So when everybody does the shit where they're walking around with like Spartan helmets and shit on their shirt, and you know how hardcore it is, and engrave it on their weapons and all this shit, and I'm like, so don't get me wrong, they were lethal as fuck, like the most elite fighting force of the time.
I have a unicorn on my AR.
Yeah, they were also
And it's painted with a rainbow.
they were also all
You do, sir.
they were also all banging each other. So they were some hard pipe hitting motherfuckers.
Oh, well,
Probably not in the way you're thinking. Like,
they were swinging pipe.
yeah, like come over here and let me inspect your spear, kind of. Fucking. Like, so just be careful with that shit when you're all like, I'm a modern Spartan. Really? There's a whole side of TikTok that would probably like to talk to you. Like,
Oh, yeah.
but speaking of
Yeah.
TikTok, I have found quite possibly my favorite portion of TikTok, and I really hope like my feed just continues to go the way it's going. Apparently, there is an entire part of TikTok that is just people redoing sea shanties, and it's like the best thing I have ever found in my life. It'll be like one dude just like doing it old school, like Shantyman style, where he's just like singing by himself, and then people will like keep adding layers to it, where it's like all this different stuff
You got
and
like 10
instruments.
people, 10
it's-
videos all the way.
It's fucking awesome. It's just me sitting there, just like, you know, the Wellerman comes to bring his sugar and tea and rum, and I'm like, this is fucking awesome. Like, just give me more of this.
It's funny. There's still some people that like talk shit about TikTok. And they're like, nope, I don't have the app. And I'm like, really? I'm like, you should download it.
yeah, just find your section.
Give it a week.
Sorry, buddy. The reason I don't download it is because I'm a married guy with kids, and that's one more thing I don't want to.
You'll lose so much time.
I don't have the time to give to it, man. I see what TikTok has done, John.
I limit myself.
TikTok
because
is one
when
of
I
those
get
things-
on it, when I do it, it's like fucking
It's
I time
hours.
travel.
Yeah.
So you can ask John and I, like, if we're sitting on the back porch smoking a cigar, like it's constantly a back and forth. He'll show me TikToks and I'll show him stories on Instagram.
That's it.
And it's just
And we
All
don't
we
have
do
a
is fucking
conversation.
laugh.
We just
my
giggle.
wife, my wife and I do it. We'll be on TikTok, and because we have each other's usernames on TikTok, and so we'll be sitting there, like we'll sit on the back patio with like a beer or whatever, just spending time together. But we'll be on TikTok watching, and all you see us is like you find one and you're like you laugh, and then you hit send, and then like 60 seconds later
They laugh.
they start laughing, and like it's just, and it's I get some sort of weird. I need to get your TikTok username. We can just start sitting. I'm just gonna send you sea shanties just
But
all the time.
My
and just be
favorite
like,
one, and I will go down this rabbit hole every fucking time, is I can't see fucking shit out of this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And it's like an animal with a bucket on its head. And I fucking die laughing.
oh god damn it, hold on a minute, I'm fucking with my eye hole.
I'm fucking losing my shit.
Yeah, it's a
Who made these fucking masks anyway?
It's a weird rabbit hole. So, but yeah, it's I don't know. I think stuff like that is the whole reason that I haven't like fucking gone off the deep end yet, because the world we're living in right now.
has gone off the deep end.
Oh, my god,
gosh.
the weird shit on
I don't
TikTok
even
makes
know-
more sense to me right now.
I don't even know if it's still in the fucking pool.
Yeah, no, it's
Like,
I'm
it's
gonna-
past the deep end.
I'm
at
going to
this
say
point.
this, and this never would have came out of my face 2 weeks ago. I cannot wait until the fucking Biden swears in.
yeah.
I can't wait. Like, make this goddamn drama stop for fuck's sakes, people.
I feel like the
Like,
Biden campaign is the equivalent of a used car salesman. They're going to keep you at the dealership until you're just so fucking over it. You're like, fuck it. Do whatever you need to fucking do.
Yeah, just
I'm done.
Here.
Dude slapping the hood, just going like, You can fit so much bullshit in this baby. Like, it just
Yes, I'll take the undercoat, the paint protection,
All of it.
the goddamn material. I don't care.
extended
Just
warranty.
get me
Here's
the
another
fuck
$1,000.
out of here.
put the NanoCure technology on my windshield. Like, sure, whatever the fuck. Just can I go?
As long as John gets his tint in his antenna, he'll be fine.
Oh, those motherfuckers. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, like, I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm a Republican. Obviously, right?
I would
mean,
argue to say that you are a conservative. I would be hard pressed to define you as a modern Republican.
And I'm going to thank you for that,
I'm going to
sir.
agree with Jazz with that.
I'm going to thank you for that. Thank you. Because as a conservative, I thought I was a Republican, but God damn it, people, we need to be better than the other side. That is what has defined us as a Republican, is we are better than the liberals.
The other
We not better like I'm better than you, but we have more morals. We stand for something that makes fucking sense.
the other big reason that I would not call you a modern Republican is that you are a conservative in the traditional sense, in that you are also willing to compromise, which has also been a defining factor of the average conservative, is that you are willing to. It's like,
Okay, but
You're
Jazz,
willing to
let-
compromise.
Let
And
me,
right
let me,
now,
let me talk about compromise
the
right now. Right?
parties are not willing to compromise.
No. But and sometimes, like right now, when you just said I'm willing to compromise, I almost feel like that is an insult.
I'm getting comfortable.
Like I don't want to be the guy that always has to compromise. I don't want to be the weak individual that always has to compromise. And I think there's a lot of people that don't want to be the people that have to compromise all the time.
I wouldn't say it,
But that being said, Jesus Christ, something has to give.
but that's what I'm saying, is that I would classify you as a conservative.
Yeah.
Because most conservatives can look at big picture. And it's like, if the big win is we're getting an 80% solution and we compromise on this 20% to
Yeah.
make everybody happy, cool. I'm willing to do that, because in the big picture, we're still pushing forward for the health of the goal.
Well, I think that's where everything
And
is
right
lost.
now, everything is either it's 100% my way or you're a fucking piece of shit and
Yes.
I don't care.
on
Like,
both sides. On
yeah,
both
no,
sides.
100%.
And you know, you like our whole government, like what's the point of the government? What's the point of Congress? Like solve problems.
My
Right?
thing is that the
Like,
point of the
solve
Congress is supposed to be a
problems.
representation of the people
Yes.
for the greater good of the country.
Yes.
I would challenge anybody to tell me right now that there is anybody, that the government out there you feel represents you. As the average American, do
Yeah.
you feel the government actually represents you? Or do you feel that that is a system that is operating completely outside your control, that you have no voice or representation in? And if that's where we're at, on both sides, we have a fucking problem.
Yeah.
We haven't had that for 10 years.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a
And
minute.
I struggle right now. We were talking about this before we went on air, but I struggle because I don't want to be the weak bitch in the room, right? Meaning, like, if this election was compromised, I don't want to just say, okay, it is what it is. I don't want to be that guy. But I also don't want to see the Capitol being stormed. I don't want to see, like, let's handle this like adults. But I think we are so far gone as a society that the media is not neutral. Neither side of the government gives a flying fuck about you as an individual.
Nope.
They do not care. They want power on both sides. They want power. They want it. They want it. They need it. They have to have it. They don't give a fuck how they go about getting it.
Power, control, and money.
Right. You know, like I was saying, I have a line. There's a line somewhere in the sand for me where at some point I'm going to take up arms and I'm going to defend what I believe in. But I don't know where that line is at. I think for some of the people that stormed the Capitol, they were coerced into believing that line, that they need to cross that line on that day. Why did they believe? And same thing with Black Lives Matter and all these other fucking riots and shit, right? There was a line, and these people, they decided on that day that this is the line, this is where I'm standing, and we've crossed over the line. It's time to fight. Where is that fucking line? Like, I am so confused right now.
Yeah. So
I don't know whether to believe. I don't know who to believe. I don't know what to believe. You know, my gut is telling me that everybody who's doing the extreme shits are fucking wrong, right?
I would, and I'm with you on that on both sides.
Like,
I think that they're
if you turn off social media and you turn off the news and you talk to your fellow man.
it's
right?
not near that extreme.
It should not be near that extreme. I feel like I could have a conversation with absolutely anybody. I could have a conversation with fucking painted up horn man who's 33 and lives with his mom, right? I could probably have a conversation with that dude and be like, hey man, I kind of understand some of this, but I think you're way wrong in some of this. And I could have a conversation with fucking Nancy Pelosi, who I totally disagree with, but I bet she would never sit down with me and have a conversation, but I could sit down with her and like, hey, where are you coming from? Like, is this complete bullshit? Like I don't know. I feel like I could get along with anybody.
But I think all of us in this room have friends that, and I am not saying in the current political arena, but in the what all of us think the government should be, we have friends that are on both sides of the aisle. Like, I have some friends that are on the...
I do too, yeah.
I have a lot of conservative friends. I have a lot of liberal friends. And the reason that I am using those phrases over I have a lot of Republican friends and I have a lot of Democrat friends is that most of the people that I interact with do not follow the definition of what those parties are right now.
I don't think anybody represents me.
No.
Nobody represents me.
There isn't a party out there that represents me. And most of my friends, I mean, like, I came out of the creative world, like art school, the whole 9 yards. I'm into a bunch of nerdy shit or whatever. You can't be part of that society and not run into a lot of the more liberal, free-spirited kind of people.
I used to own a gun store.
Yeah.
You can't help but run into the hardline fucking right.
Well, we're all big fans of whiskey and cigars and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Traditionally, that does fall into a more conservative group. Don't get me wrong, I have a lot of Democrat friends that are also cigar smokers and whiskey drinkers and all that kind of stuff, but we're also all big firearms fans.
Yeah.
I think we all represent the concept that this extreme hardline concept of I'm right, fuck you is insane, and it does not represent America. It represents these fringe groups.
Yeah.
Well,
and even on the Black Lives Matter side, I don't think 95% of those people were okay with the situations that got entirely out of hand and went violent and went destructive. And I don't think they do. The people that just wanted a voice and wanted to be heard because they were upset about something, and we've talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
That's your right in America. If you don't like it, peacefully assemble and make your voice heard.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
It's when the extremists get involved that's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, all of us were part of an army that went to war because extremists didn't know how to back the fuck down. Like,
yeah. I think all these people too, a lot of them that want violence, that want whatever, they've never seen violence. They've never seen what it can do to a society, to its people. And they need to really consider what they're wishing for.
And, all these people that are now calling for revolution and posting these paintings of, 1770s America and all this stuff of this is what it needs to look like. I'm like, do you have any idea what you're asking for?
Yeah.
Because you're not asking for a revolution against a foreign power.
I think I didn't want to put this out. Like, if you are basing your argument on emotion and not logic or reason or being reasonable about a conversation, and it's all emotion, you just became unreasonable. And when somebody's unreasonable, you're never gonna your point is never gonna be made.
If your political argument is I got my feelings hurt, you don't have an argument.
Yeah.
You straight up don't have an argument because you have no logic behind it. Like, if you want to have a civil discourse or even a debate that is logic based,
Yeah.
most people, including all the hosts of the show, are willing to have that conversation with you.
Yeah, I would I love to talk to people that have very opposing views as me, because one, it opens my eyes, and I hope I can
Yeah.
open their eyes.
Some of it has reshaped my ideas about stuff
Yeah.
because it is what it is.
And then you got people like John who just check the fuck out when we're
Oh no,
having a
I'm listening the
conversation.
whole time, but you guys are covering all the bases. There's no need for me to chime in on
Well,
this.
but I think that comes down to the host of the show. The reason that we went with the phrase "Freedom Friends" and all that stuff, as apart from its awesome alliteration and stuff like that, is that freedom comes with a requirement of requirement of logic, responsibility,
Yeah.
the ability to understand that it does come with some compromise and stuff like that. It can't be 100% your way all the fucking time because you don't live alone. You are not an island onto yourself. We are a country that was made up of multiple beliefs, of multiple backgrounds, of multiple financial, standings. We were founded on that, and freedom comes with the idea of the responsibility of, yes, you can believe what you believe and you should vote and make your voice heard. But at the same time, to be part of that system, you need to appreciate the fact that that system isn't always going to give you exactly what you want.
But what do we do? What do we do
When the system's broken,
when the system's broken?
yeah,
And
that's the question.
and like fundamentally, if everybody played by the same set of rules, it would be one thing, but I don't think that's how it is. And I think a lot of people don't believe that the same set of rules are followed by both sides. So
I don't think anybody can tell you the rules right now. That's the big problem. It's
no, I'll lay out some freedom of speech, right? I mean, there's censorship everywhere.
yep.
But so
But what do you do?
let me play devil's advocate in freedom of
Please.
speech.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so the freedom of speech protects you from the government regulating your speech. It doesn't protect you from a private entity regulating your speech.
Totally agree.
Now, that's also a slippery slope, but it's very specific in the First Amendment on what is protected. So having a private company, that's like, all the shit with Nike. Over the past couple of years with Colin Kaepernick and all that stuff. And people are like, we're just going to boycott Nike. Nike's like, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, knock yourself out.
We're still
I
going to say
understand
whatever
that.
we're going to say. Because
Then there's rules like you can't, you can't incite violence. You can't
Yeah.
do shit
You
like
can't
that,
yell
right?
fire in a movie theater.
But-
You can't do all that kind of stuff.
But when I can't even defend a way I believe because I'm afraid I'm going to be censored, I don't think that's fair.
But I think the downfall of that, and it's been slowly creeping to the point that where we're at right now, is that social media plays such a huge role in today's society.
yeah.
And it's never, ever, ever been regulated.
Well-
And you can't because it's a privately owned company, but it holds so much weight that when these companies are all of a sudden like, hey, I don't believe in what you're saying, so I'm just going to squash that whole belief system.
yeah.
What other platform do you have?
Well,
Because
and that's-
everybody
That's
Well,
the problem.
falls deep into
that's the
this.
problem. That's my question. At what point does somebody stand up and fight against that? And how do you fight against that?
Well,
And I think that's what a lot of people in society are struggling with right now, right?
it's because where do you draw that line?
Where's that line drawn?
And so,
right?
because it does come down to everybody's like, well, I can't say this on Facebook or I can't say that on Twitter or they pulled this Instagram post down or they did this, that, and the other. Somehow people have gotten in the mindset that social media is somehow theirs. This is my
right.
Facebook, it's my Twitter, it's my this, it's my that. And it's like, it's not though.
But when it has so much influence.
Right. But that's the same problem with the news and stuff like that. Is it's the news has no obligation to give you
News.
a news or a non-partisan like an objective reporting of what's going on. They have no obligation to do it. Social media has no obligation to give you a fair shake.
Right.
Like, these are not public entities. These are not
But when
These are not government services.
But when all of the weight is on one side, what does somebody do? And I think that's what people are struggling with, right?
Oh, I'm not saying I have a solution. It's just we need to keep in mind that these companies aren't required to give you a fair shake. They're nowhere in their terms of services that say like, well, we're essentially a social service platform. Like they're not the power company, but they're not the water company.
And it's been going on for years too. I mean, you look at the gun industry and you look how censored that they've been for years.
Well, let's look at your company just with Warfighter.
Oh, tobacco, absolutely.
You cannot do paid advertising on social media.
No, but I can show my butthole. Well, damn near close to it, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
You know, but like.
So, no, I'll give you a better example. I used to own a gun store called Silencer Headquarters. We could not advertise the sale of silencers.
Yep.
But you will see
sponsored posts.
Sponsored
paid
posts
advertisements
that are essentially filters that are illegal suppressors.
Yeah.
That are sold all the time.
Or an 80% suppressor.
Right. Which is totally illegal.
Or the posts that I'll see where they pixelate the rifle and it's a paid sponsorship, but because it can't be image recognized as a rifle because they pixelated it a little bit. Now that's okay. Like, it's just weird. Everybody tries to find a loophole and shit like that. And some of it comes down to arguably monopoly laws.
Yeah.
So I was never on it, so this is not me being an advocate for one platform over another or anything like that, but the Parler situation, which was, let's just call a spade here, it was red Twitter.
Yeah.
Like it was Twitter for conservatives. That's what it was.
You know what the difference was? Is I don't think Parler was kicking off any blue.
No, but everybody went there because they felt that Twitter and Facebook was being unfair.
But I don't think Parler would have kicked off anybody on the blue side.
They wouldn't have. But this is where you run into almost monopoly law. Mm-hmm. Because Google and Apple, which control 90% of the app distribution in the world, will no longer host the Parler app.
Yeah.
So you can't put it on your device because 90% of the world is carrying either an Android device, which is owned by Google, which is why you go to the Google Play Store to get apps for your Android device, or you're on an iPhone. So,
I think everybody should hit up Elon Musk, give us a Tesla phone, give us a Tesla platform, make it fucking fair, make the rules apply to everybody. Like, you can have rules, whatever rules you want to have, just apply them equally to everybody.
Yeah.
I think that's the only ask, right?
I think what we might see is you're going to end up seeing the rise of, for all of us that were on the internet back in the day, when it wasn't just an app and everybody was centralized, but you had all these private message boards, like all of the forums that existed that you went to for your particular interest. And that's where you went and hung out and stuff like that, because it was hosted by whoever. The one person that I will say, the one group outlet or whatever that I will say stays pretty fucking unfiltered is Reddit.
Yeah.
You can,
but it leans.
But it leans because of user.
Yeah.
It's not Reddit that's leaning. It's leaning because of user.
That's true. The only thing that Reddit really censors is
nothing.
No, it's copyright, trademark.
Oh, okay.
They'll shut down copyright in a fucking heart. If you can't prove you own it, they'll shut it down.
And they're good. They're good about that, which is awesome. You know, if you don't own that content and you're fucking trying to use it,
but that rules apply to everybody. You know what I mean?
Yep, across the board.
Yeah, that's just copyright law.
Yeah.
Like arguably, obviously I'm friends with the Warfighter boys or I wouldn't be sitting here, or at least they tolerate me. But if I posted something, if I bought some cigars, went home and did photography of them and posted them on my Facebook or Instagram or whatever that I, as a photographer, went and took shots of your cigars and posted them. If I did that without your permission, you could actually send me a message and go, hey, you're pushing image that we haven't given you permission to use. You could tell me, hey, you need to take that down.
Yeah.
Right.
Like most companies, as long as you're not profiting from it, are okay with it. But Reddit will definitely, if you put up what looks like professional content and it's not, you can't prove it's yours, you got problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, most of those platforms, what you're seeing are the really loud fringe percentage.
Right.
You're seeing the really loud 5% on both sides. You're not seeing the core of Americans, because
okay, so
all this anger and fucking hate just spewing out of both sides that I see all over social media. I know people from every walk of life, and I'm just not seeing this shit in person. And it's almost like,
that's the thing.
100%.
where the fuck is all of this? Like, I don't get, out of all the people I know, why am I not seeing this kind of hatred? Just,
And I don't live a sheltered life.
Obviously, I have my own thoughts and morals and beliefs and where I stand with politics and all that, right? That does not mean that if you're a Democrat or you're liberal or you totally disagree with everything I say, if you want to buy from Warfighter, like, buy from Warfighter. You know, if you want to have a conversation and you want to call me out on something, I will literally pick up the phone and talk to you about it.
100%.
I have no problem with it. There's no animosity there. I don't hate you because you disagree with me.
But
You know what I mean?
But I also feel
like-
like with the collective group here, and if I'm not speaking for all of us, correct me. Our end goal isn't to change your mind or change your thought process. Well, it might be to change your thought process.
It
but
is.
we're not trying to change your mind.
no.
We're
Right.
not trying to make you believe something you don't believe in or try to believe something else. We're just trying to give you information or open your eyes.
My overall goal of anything I ever say is I want you as an individual to have mutual respect for any other individual.
No, that's what actual freedom is.
Right.
Freedom is the ability to, I can believe and
You can-
follow what I want to follow.
Yeah.
If you're a customer of mine, you are diehard believe one thing. I want you to have an open enough mind to have a conversation with somebody who believes the exact opposite of you
And learn
be
from each other.
and be civil
Yep.
and try to figure out some common ground. And I hope that my cigar is that common ground
Yeah.
and you all can fucking enjoy it.
Right.
Like, that's literally all I want out of even like whatever fucking platform I may have to speak, right? If any message I get across is just try to love your neighbor,
Yeah.
you know, like literally
Don't be a shitbag.
don't be a shitbag,
Yeah.
you know, and if your neighbor calls you a shitbag, look at yourself, figure out, am I a shitbag?
Yeah. Don't just try to blame your neighbor. Oh, that guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Maybe take a
ah,
hard look at it.
Maybe
Right?
it's my fault.
I was talking earlier about how over the weekend I stopped by my friend's game shop
Yeah.
to go check out her new layout and stuff like that. If you looked at our lifestyles, short of like gaming aspect,
Right.
we are the exact opposite of each other.
Yeah.
Like, I am a cigar smoking, whiskey drinking, gun toting conservative Texan. She is a blue haired, game owning, ultra liberal lesbian who literally has a little rainbow symbol on her front door that says safe space and shit on her
Right.
shop. She still works with me and has me come in and do her photography and everything
Right.
for her website and whatever. And we've had multiple discussions.
Yeah.
We've had different debates and stuff like that. She is still a friend of mine.
Yeah.
It's healthy.
We have very opposing view on things. And short of literally board games, we have nothing in common when
Yeah.
it comes to lifestyle. And she's still a friend of mine. I've
Yeah.
gone to her birthday parties. Like, she's come to mine. Like, we've been at each other's places. Like, we have, but it's because we can look at it and go, just because we have different viewpoints on things
Right.
doesn't invalidate the other person's viewpoint.
Yeah.
But both of us also kind of believe that freedom is the idea that we can both have those and we can be okay with the fact that somebody has an opposing view. I don't have to prove you're wrong to respect the fact that you're allowed to believe that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm okay with whatever anybody wants to believe in, as long as they don't try to tell me that I have to change what I do or what I
100%.
believe in.
Yeah.
Well, I've literally stolen your quote over and over and over again. Oh, when people have asked me about my political beliefs or whatever. And it's come back to that whole, like, I want to be able to carry a gun to my gay friend's wedding and then go smoke weed with him afterwards.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I
Like,
just It's that fucking simple. Like, and I don't want to have to get into a "you're a piece of shit, you son of a bitch" conversation about the fact that we may believe separately on it.
Now, believing that and believing what we believe, if you come across a person that is like just the asshole, right? They're just the piece of shit that you cannot have this conversation with.
Ignore 'em.
Be the bigger person.
Yeah.
Don't stoop to their level. Thank them for their time and get the fuck out of there, right?
That's exactly what I do.
Like,
I don't have time.
Lose.
Like, I think it was Mattis. Be polite, professional, and have a plan to kill everybody in the room, right?
But Mattis has been stepping on his dick left and right.
Oh my God.
Has he?
Oh my God.
Over the last year,
But that's what he believes, right?
he also said always carry a knife
In
in
case,
case there's cheesecake, or you have to stab somebody in the neck.
That is fucking brilliant. That should be on the bottom of a box.
Yeah. But the first step is always carry a knife in case there's cheesecake.
Yes.
Or if you have to stab somebody in the neck.
Yeah.
Or you have to cut a cigar.
Which, if it's sharp enough,
Yeah.
totally viable.
But I mean, there comes a point when you have to stand up for yourself. Obviously, like we were in the military. Like there's a point in like
Yes.
right.
But be
And
able to have a logical argument for why you're making your
When
stand.
I was very young, you know, we were in our fucking teens and 20s when we've had to fucking, you know, like our life was based on that extreme of a decision, right? Now that I'm an old man, you got to be able to reflect a little bit and be like, hey, like you got to be able to de-escalate the situation. You got to be able to be the bigger person.
Right.
Like you have to do everything you can to make society better, not worse. And God damn it, storming the Capitol is not the fucking solution.
No.
One of the things that still just blows my mind.
And nobody can tell me what the fuck they were trying to accomplish.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
were trying to stop the fucking vote.
But
It's a formality.
Right.
It's literally a formality. That would be like you charging in at the end of a wedding and going,
I object.
I object. And it's like, okay, but
It's already done.
Yeah, it's already over.
we've already all
Sorry.
signed this. This is just like literally so all the friends and family can see it. Like we're still married. Like you haven't accomplished a fucking thing. Like,
Right.
You know what the greatest thing that I saw that came out of the storming of the Capitol was? When they were going through the rotunda and they were still inside the velvet ropes.
Yeah.
Like they had a walkway set up with the velvet ropes and all these people, you know, busted windows, whatever, to get in. And they stayed inside the ropes.
It was like watching angry sheep.
There's a handful of those people that I really want to see go to jail.
yes.
And there's probably a lot of people who just followed the crowd. And
Those are the guys that get in there and they're like taking selfies with the cops. Like, hey, bro, how's your day going? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry that you got to deal with this shit.
And
It kind of sucks.
they're-
It's my first time in here. This place is cool.
right? They're going to be in trouble. And I hate to see it because I think there was probably some good people that entered just because the rest of the fucking crowd was doing it. You know,
Yeah,
but
you
you
know,
have to recognize.
Don't
when
be a
you-
sheep.
You have to, yes, don't be a sheep. You have to recognize when you're crossing that line. And what was, I mean, look at the big picture. What was really going to be accomplished?
my whole thing is so like Trump during the other protests literally did the whole like any destruction of any property, federal or otherwise.
So
We're going to do
Literally-
10 years mandated prison
literally
for-
breaking news on my phone.
Yeah.
Internal FBI memo warns of plans for armed protest in all 50 state capitals on Inauguration Day. People, fucking stop.
Don't do it.
Fucking stop.
Especially you listeners in Texas. Don't do that. Like,
you know,
don't do it.
Homie, don't play that shit out here.
in all reality, the Capitol Police should have shot everybody who crossed that fucking door.
Yep.
They should have just started stacking fucking bodies.
Well, and when
I
Trump
know it's
did
not
that
the-
whole any
but Jesus-
destruction of property
like,
is going
for
to carry
security
a
purposes?
mandatory 10-year sentence, any of those motherfuckers that damage the Capitol, lock them up.
They're going to be.
You want me to see you to stand by the guns? 10 years. Lock them up.
And I feel bad for fucking grandma who was just in the crowd doing what everybody else is doing, not fucking thinking about what she's actually doing. She's going to be fucked.
I heard on the news this morning that they're trying to push for state level charges because
Because it happened in D.C.?
no, because in the reasoning, and I don't know who they said is trying to push for this, but the reasoning behind they're pushing for state level charges against the people that stormed the Capitol on top of the federal charges is because, quote, Trump can't pardon a state level charge.
Oh. he isn't going to be able to pardon.
He's not
all
going
those
to pardon shit in the next 9 days.
But you know what I mean? Like this is what they're worried about.
That's
okay, but then you
insane.
got to ask yourself, John, why are they worried about it? Because I mean,
is it a thing to be worried about? That's
No.
what we have to ask.
but was storming the Capitol a thing to be worried about before it happened?
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but I didn't think. I live in San Antonio, Texas, and I didn't think I'd be seeing people fucking breaking glass and shit downtown San Antonio.
And
Like-
some of the videos, though, like there's a video that I saw, this dude that's using an object, I don't know what the fuck it was, to try to break a piece of glass. And somebody else that was in the crowd literally came up, grabbed this dude,
Yeah.
and threw him to the fucking ground.
Yeah.
You know, like, so
And
I honestly think that there were probably people there that were trying to stop
that
it.
person who tried to stop it, once the Capitol was breached, probably walked in with the rest of the crowd.
probably
And his goddamn intentions were of the best.
they were.
And he's going to be fucked. People, don't be sheep.
Yep.
Think about what the fuck you are doing.
Yeah. Lemmings travel in a pack right off the end of the fucking cliff. So,
Exactly.
like,
Yes, please.
just think this through. Just think it through. like-
One iceberg for you, sir.
And if
I'll
you-
take a bunch of little ones.
And if you fucking, if at the end of the day you think it through and you just still decide, like, yep, this is my hill,
Yeah, like I
then
said,
go for it. But
like I said, I have a line. Everybody has a line, and some people's line was that day.
Getting brave.
I don't know where my line is.
Gotta get drunk.
I really don't know.
I'll tell you where my line is. Because I know. If you threaten me or mine, you just found my line.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Like-
without a doubt. Like
Straight up, you've threatened me or mine, and that includes the current crowd, my family,
Yeah.
your family. Like, you threaten me or mine, you just found my line. Like, and I know my circle that probably feel the same way. That if it was like, hey, I'm in danger, I know the people that would show up. Like, I know that list, and it's not a long list. And I'm kind of okay with the fact that it's not a long list because those are the motherfuckers I can rely on. Like, I would rather have a really short list of dudes. that I'm like,
there
yep,
is
they got me.
there's a definite hill that I will die on.
Yeah.
I
It's-
just
yeah.
can't say like where it is. I don't know.
It sure as fuck isn't this game that's going
It's-
on now.
it's not now.
We
It's
talked about
not.
it earlier.
It is not
Like,
now.
I'm going to continue doing the things that I can do that are in my control. And
Which
I'm going
is
to
vote.
continue voting.
Yeah,
But I'm not going to go stand outside of a building and yell and scream. I'm not going to go be destructive. I'm not going to do things that are going to negatively affect what I believe in.
right.
And it's hard to say in today's day and age because I don't know what's going to affect or not affect the things that I believe in so much as outside of absolute just voting. You know what I mean? And
Well, Yeah,
but I know me as a person, I don't have the time, money, or energy to fucking go to DC and be a part of that when I know that the end goal that I think I want in this country isn't going to be accomplished by me going out there and being a fucking idiot. And I'm not saying that
Yeah.
these people are all of them are idiots. You know, I'm using that term very loosely. But what good is it going to do when I go down there and I'm just another body that's yelling and screaming at ears that aren't listening?
Yeah, it doesn't.
exactly.
And that's the biggest thing that people don't understand today is, yeah, you might be loud, you might be trying to say a point.
You want to
might
be
have something,
heard, but you got to find the right way to be heard.
but there's nobody that's listening to you right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, and honestly, like Black Lives Matter, right? We want to be heard. So they caused all the violence so that they would be heard. And God damn it, they were heard. You know, so
But what came of it?
I don't know. Nothing, right? What did come of it?
A whole bunch of fundraising for one side?
I don't know what came of
But
it.
again, even that, when that got violent, that wasn't the bulk of them.
No,
I will add on to what you said about the one thing that you can do is
they
vote.
had everybody on their side until the violence started.
And then
Yep.
so many people were like, okay, fuck off.
Yes.
Like I was, look,
And-
I
and
was
then
with them.
Same thing with the Capitol shit, right?
Yep.
Like, yeah, this election, I don't know because everybody lies to me. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But do I think there was a problem? Yes. Did you lose me as soon as you fucking
Yep.
started doing this shit?
We talked
Yes.
about it on this show when the shit with George Floyd happened. And we said that cop is fucked and he deserves to go to jail.
Yeah.
We all said it.
Yeah.
And I was with them when they were like, we need to relook at all of this kind of stuff. We got to, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
As soon as you turned violent,
Yeah.
you lost me. And I know.
And then
I-
month 3 of
Yeah.
burning down cities,
Actually,
I was against you.
I will tell you what lost me on that. And it's not anything else besides the fact that they hosted a funeral in Houston where tens of thousands of people gathered for it during quarantine when people couldn't even host a funeral for their parents.
Yeah.
That's what fucking why
Yeah.
why can Steve not go to a funeral for his family member,
Yeah.
but tens of thousands of people can go here and it's acceptable and it's totally fine and it's encouraged.
yeah. It's
That's
just,
when that's and I didn't so much lose it for their cause. I lost it for the governmental aspect of the regulations they were putting in place, and I lost it for the media aspect of the coverage and the propaganda essentially that they were fucking spewing.
yeah. I was all about have your voice be heard and whatever. But the one thing I will add on to what you said about voting, the other thing that I will continue to do is if you have a problem with the influence that businesses, social media platforms or whatever, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but social media platforms are businesses.
They are.
They are companies.
Yep. They are for-profit.
They are
marketing
for-profit companies. The one thing I will continue to do is I will continue to buy and pay for products and services from companies that I feel either line up with what I believe in or aren't adding to a problem.
Right.
Correct.
So those are the two things that are in my power that I can do legally and are far more effective than me standing around with a poorly made fucking sign outside of something waiting for some shit to pop off so I can say I was there.
Yeah.
Like, you're not accomplishing anything. So just think about that's how you can control it.
I want to
decide where your vote goes and decide where your dollar goes.
I want to know how many people that were at in DC out of all those hundreds of thousands, because I have no idea how many fucking people
I think it
were
was 300,000 to 500,000.
there. But out of the hundreds of thousands of people that were there, how many of them contacted their local representative? How many of them have actually voiced their opinion through the channels that are there for their elected officials to represent their constituents?
But
I would like to know
John,
how many of those
but
motherfuckers there were actually convicted felons and weren't allowed to vote.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. And I don't think those channels, I think those channels would lead to nowhere.
Yeah, you're just
And
it's just an email address.
and people who went there, right? They voted
Yeah.
and they thought or they think or their vote did not matter. That's what they think.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
is up to our goddamn you motherfuckers in government and you motherfuckers in the media to tell the fucking truth so that we can trust somebody again.
Yep.
Because we don't fucking trust any of you fuckers.
Yeah.
Any of you. So if you want this shit to end, stop fucking lying to us and tell us the goddamn truth.
100%.
Because I want to be civil. I think everybody wants to be civil, but we can't fucking trust anybody. And that's the goddamn problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's really sad when you had we talked about it earlier, and it was a room full of veterans, and all of us sat there and went, I don't trust the government as a whole.
Yeah.
Either side. I don't give a fuck what party you belong to.
Any level of
At any level. I think you're
Well,
all liars. I think you're all full of shit.
We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I mean,
But that's
seriously.
it's fucking terrifying that as many people are seeing this room.
fucking
that have-
embarrassing.
It's fucking embarrassing. Your spare parts, bud.
I own a small cigar company. I do a fucking podcast. It is not my job. It is kind of my job, but it's not my job to fucking be the voice of reason when we have congressmen and senators and presidents and fucking the media, Fox News, CNN, all these motherfuckers. It is your goddamn job to get goddamn.
when
It's
you look
your goddamn job.
when you look at the big picture of it, though, if their job, right, essentially is to do what they're doing for as long as they possibly can do it in their lifetime, just like anybody else's job, right? I'm a graphic engineer. Okay, my job is to do that for as long as I can possibly do it to generate income.
Could you please tell me what the fuck a graphic engineer
I have no
is?
fucking idea.
Oh, okay.
I really don't.
He put words together.
I did.
Oh, I'm like,
Yeah. They engineer, they fucking engineer graphics. you
What he
dickhead.
meant, what he meant to say is insert job title here.
That's it. You know, whatever the fuck you do.
I'm
you
a
could,
fucking graphic
you know what,
engineer. I'm like,
I'm a cashier at McDonald's. I'm going to be I'm going to cashier at McDonald's for as long as I fucking can do it because that's my revenue stream. That's my income. That's what I live on. And I'm going to do that as long as I can to do whatever I want to do in my life until I no longer am living. Right. And so essentially these people that are in government, it's their job.
yeah.
You know what I mean? They're getting paid. Well, the majority of their monies aren't coming from the actual governmental
The
paycheck.
terrifying
Right.
thing is how long they can do it.
But that's the
Yeah.
thing, right? So their end goal, right, is not to look out for the low man on the totem pole. Their end goal is to continue their revenue streams for as long as they can so they can maintain their lifestyles for as long as they can.
Yeah.
So these people that have been in government for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, do you think that they're actually going to do anything to change what's going on if it has any effect
No.
on any revenue stream they have coming in?
But that's the thing. That's
I would
why
like to,
I
I would
don't
like to
trust them.
think so. Like I have high hopes for some, like Dan Crenshaw.
But those aren't the
Right.
people that have been in it for 40
Yeah, I know,
50
I
years.
He's
know,
been there 3
I know.
years.
But at some point, when you're one of these people, you lose track of why you became that, and it turns into how can I make the most money, have the most power. We have to have faith in somebody. Like, be true to your oath. Like, don't lose sight of why you're there. Don't become the greedy motherfucker that's been in fucking power forever. Right? Don't become that person. How do we prevent that?
Term limits.
Yeah.
Like you
The
know
only
what?
way to prevent
You know
it is
what I
term
want
limits.
out of a president? I don't care which side of the goddamn. I don't care who it comes from. I want fucking leadership, and I want fucking somebody who can inspire America to be American and
So-
the best American they can be.
So you want somebody that believes in the beliefs of this country
Yes.
and tries to push that as their only agenda.
yes.
Okay, so having somebody that's been in politics for 47 years, they don't believe in a single fucking thing.
I get
Because
I
there's
know.
no way that
I
you
know.
can be in politics that long without having a backbone and believing in certain things because you won't be there.
So some
the
people,
tides
some
change
people
so
say
much.
that's why they believe so hard in what Trump is, right? Because he wasn't from politics. He wasn't, right? And man, I tell you what, I had Trump has lost me in the last couple weeks.
Yep.
I hope I don't see him run again because it will be hard for me to ever vote for him again because of the divisiveness just in the last month.
You know who I want to see as president? Samuel L. Jackson.
Motherfucker.
Look, you wouldn't get reelected, but could you
speaking of
imagine that 4 years?
Okay, I'm gonna kind of tangent here real quick and get back on what we were talking about. So the new show on Netflix, The History of Swear Words.
oh, so
Yes.
Episode 1
Binged
is about the word fuck.
good. I
It
binged it.
came out.
Did you guys watch it?
No,
I
not
binged
yet.
the whole thing. I watched it all.
Okay, it blew my fucking mind.
Yeah, the sheer history of that fucking word.
No.
Oh, no.
The
No, that's
top,
Samuel L.
the top actor who said the word
Oh my God.
fuck the most. Who do you think it is? Scott hasn't seen it. Who do you think it is?
Top actors.
Yep. In movies. In
Yeah, the
recorded
number
movies.
one movie star that said fuck.
Fucking Samuel L. Jackson, right?
No.
Motherfucker and everything.
God, on Trejo, maybe? I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, he wasn't even on
Have
the
you
list.
watched it?
Yeah.
I have.
Oh, okay. Because it blew me away too.
Oh.
And I was like,
They're going, Samuel L. Jackson's number 3. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, no way. And if this is spoiler alert for everybody, I fucking don't care
yeah,
at this point.
get over it.
Do tell.
Jonah fucking Hill.
Yeah. Jonah Hill. And you know what movie put him over the
Yes.
top?
What's that?
Wolf of Wall Street.
Yes.
He says it like 109 times in Wolf of Wall Street.
The most in any movie ever.
So,
like every
yes.
line that he
Out
had
of
had
his
the
movies,
word fucking.
out of his movies, he said it like 360 something times.
Wow.
In his 7 movies, 8 movies, or
Something
however
like
many he's
that.
been in.
Here's to Jonah Hill.
Here's
Right?
the Jonah
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
Hill.
Good fucking job, my friend.
I got nothing.
Cheers,
to say.
Dave.
Yeah.
So, dude, how do we get Jonah Hill on the show? Because I think he's probably one of the few that could keep up with
I
us.
say we fucking reach out to him.
It blew my mind when I saw that. Sorry.
Yeah, Jonah Hill. Well, even the other celebrities and stuff that they had on the history of swear words thing, when they told them, they were like,
No way.
it's not fucking possible. Like, oh yeah, sure is the world.
That was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh,
But I
Great
figured
movie.
like Samuel L. Jackson. Like,
That guy,
yeah.
that goddamn Quaalude
I mean,
scene.
Jesus Christ, snakes on a fucking plane.
right?
How many times did he fucking say fuck in that
I've
movie?
never seen that movie.
The whole reason,
Well, Pulp
the whole
Fiction.
reason to watch that movie, he says, "There's motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane."
Once you get through that line, you don't need to watch
That's
the
it.
rest
That's
of the
the-
movie.
So he has to be number one with motherfucking.
But they didn't. They used the
he-
core
but
swear word.
But I
Yeah,
guarantee
it's
he's
gotta be-
number
They
one
use
with
the core
Or
swear word.
motherfuck, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, Jonah Hill.
But he
apparently
still
got the
didn't say it
title.
more times than Jonah Hill said "fuck."
For me, Wolf of Wall Street, the best scene was in the diner when he's sitting there and he's like,
That's a good one.
and he asks him how much money he made last month, and he tells him, and he goes like,
You show me a pay stub, and I'll quit my job right
now. Yeah. And he shows him, and he literally like
Picks
fucking
up the phone. I fucking quit.
so fucking great.
I like when he drives the Lamborghini home.
Right.
And he
he's
thinks
like,
it's totally fine.
He goes out
Wait,
destroyed.
Is that the
That's
movie
the
where he
Quaalude
goes to his trunk and grabs the fucking machine gun?
What?
He grabs the MP5, or what am I thinking of? What movie is that?
Back to War Dogs.
Yeah,
War Dogs.
that's
Oh,
War
that
Dogs,
was a
yeah.
great scene too.
That's War Dogs, which was Jonah Hill.
That was gonna
Yeah.
say that was Jonah Hill.
Yeah, that's a great scene.
War Dogs. The terrifying thing is that that's a true story.
That's
Like-
a great thing.
You know what?
You know what that story be? That story be me and Scott.
Yeah.
They'd be like, what? Wait.
As-
Well, hold on. We can't take him through it. Okay.
As soon as we seen that movie, we started getting on the government contract
did.
shit. We're like, oh, we got to figure something out.
The first
I
time
liked
I
how
watched.
accurate it was though, because they drove that shit and they were like, you just drove through the Triangle of Death and still made it. And I was like,
The best part is like,
That's
I just drove through the triangle of death.
yeah. And I was like, dude, I know motherfuckers that were fighting in the Triangle. Like,
The first time I saw Lord of War, I literally the next day.
can you get me the gun of Rambo?
The next day, I walked in
2, or
because
3.
we were in Nebraska at the time. We had the gun store, and I walked into the shop and I look at Scott. I'm like, Scott, we need to sell guns. He's like, what the fuck do you think we do? And I'm like, no, bro. I'm like, we need to sell guns.
I still think one of the best gun dealer movies I've ever seen is Don't Be a Menace in South Central while
Oh.
drinking your juice. And they're sitting there doing the arms race thing, and so they're going back and forth, and they have all these illegal arms, and he's like, one dude just pulls out a pistol, and another dude like pulls out a rifle, so the other dude pulls out a shotgun, and then it goes to like a bazooka, and then the dude rolls up the back of a truck, and he's got the remote, and he's sitting there re-aiming this fucking mobile missile launcher. And he's just going like, do we have a problem? And every time he says a syllable, the missile moves. I was like, yep, that's how it works.
Yeah.
So what did we learn today?
Oh Jesus!
Don't be a dick.
Be nice to your fucking
Yeah.
neighbor.
It's
It's not as bad as it has to be right now.
Don't be so fucking myopic that you think your uneducated idea is the end-all be-all of all ideas. Because for all you know, being willing to listen to somebody with a different aspect on things might actually strengthen the
Yeah.
position you're in.
If you think you're the smartest person in the room,
You're
go to
the
a different
dumbest
fucking-
person there.
Yeah.
Go to a different fucking room.
Have a fear that you are wrong.
Mm-hmm.
In the back of your head, have a little voice that says,
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Yeah.
Might be wrong about this.
And be willing to ask anybody for, hey, will you just listen to me real quick and make sure that I don't sound like a fucking idiot?
Right.
Or, hey, I think I know what I'm doing, but would you mind talking this out
if,
with me?
If you're dressed in face paint, wearing horns and a fucking...
Oh, yeah. No, we're
you,
gonna.
just know that you are a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
You don't need to ask anybody.
By the way, if you
sir,
were on
are
either,
and you're 33 and live with your mom.
Yeah.
You, sir, are a fucking idiot.
and if you were on either side of the aisle, and whatever you stand for requires you to dress in costume or cover your face, you don't actually believe that hard.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hate to tell you that, but be willing to listen to other people and be willing to run your idea by somebody else that you trust you'll get an honest opinion from. I do it to John all the fucking time.
All the time.
I'll call him and be like, hey, I think I know what I'm doing,
What do you think about this?
but can I just run this by you real quick? just because I know I'm going to get an honest, like, I think you're fucking up, bud.
You're a fucking idiot, bro.
Or he'll go, nope, think you're onto something. Just like,
That's a good idea.
when we did it, try this or that or whatever. Like, be open to that. But that goes back to exactly what Scott said of you're not the smartest person in the room. Like, and even if you think you are, double check it. Like, have a fear that you're fucking wrong and double check it against somebody else. Run those opinions by somebody else. Like, I don't care. They don't need to be old or whatever. John and I are the same fucking age. And I still call him. He's my peer. And I'm like, hey, I got this going on. Or what do you think of this? Or let me run this by you real quick. Get a second opinion. Double check it. Make intelligent calls. Be willing to have that conversation. And for fuck's sake, get some friends that aren't a goddamn echo chamber.
Oh, Jesus,
you
please.
lonely fucks. Find some people that think different than you and just decide you're going to be my fucking friend.
Yes.
Because you're going to balance me the fuck out.
Yeah.
If everybody around you thinks the exact same fucking thing, you are a sheep. And you should not have a goal of being a sheep. That is fucked. You want to know why certain friend groups just seem like it all works out? That is a wolf pack. They are not a fucking sheep herd. And that's because they all check each other. Trust me, I have really good friends. Actually, everybody sitting in this room right now, at one point over the couple of years that I've known them now, has looked at me and gone like, "That's a bad fucking idea.
Yeah,
you shouldn't fucking do that."
Like, we've all had conversations where we've checked each other and,
and gone like, "Don't do that." Yeah, like that's a
okay.
bad fucking call.
I see your point.
Yeah, and it's, by the way, it's been on everything: relationships, business, fucking what the fuck you're wearing, like buying something. Like, we've all checked each other on like, I don't know, man. Like, that's a fucking rough call. Like, that's a real friend. If your group does nothing but fucking agree with you, you have fucking problems and you need to go check yourself. Because
before you wreck yourself.
Hey, John.
God, I was hoping somebody would do it. Yes.
Hey, John, before, since Mikey's not here, we totally forgot to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me.
Pay them bills, son.
Pay those bills, Johnny.
So for all your smoky treat needs, head on over to warfightertobacco.com and use that code FreedomFriends and score yourself a sweet 15% off.
And if you have not ordered
the new 5.56
Garrison Corojo Minutemen, you are fucking up, bud.
Fucking up.
Out of all the other fuck ups that you probably heard we say that you're doing right now,
You're
that's
really
your biggest
fucking
fuck up.
Yeah. And then if you were at the Capitol and you're experiencing some pain, anxiety, stress, any of the above, head on over to owellness.us for all your CBD needs. They have tinctures, pain patches, freeze gel, lotions, massage oils, all the stuff. And it is phenomenal.
Not to mention the owner's just fucking cool.
Yeah,
So
he's a really good dude. But they also have all their reports, all their testings up live on their website. So if you really want to see where it comes from, what's in it, and all that fun stuff,
I'm going to say it for Mikey. You can get a quarter off your order.
Get a quarter off your order using code FreedomFriends25.
Which, by the way, he sent us a message on the show saying that that coupon code's been kicking ass.
Yep.
So it is just going to stay.
It is.
For the foreseeable future.
Yep.
That's what it. That was the phrase we got.
Yep.
Was for the foreseeable future. The Freedom Friends 25 code is just going to be there. So go help him out. That is an honest to God freedom friend right there. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Vote with your vote and vote with your dollar. Go fucking
Exactly.
support the companies that do your thing. So.
And then we got our merch.
Yep.
Back up.
It's now shipping, all that kind of stuff. It is all squared away. You can get merch and everything.
We're into a small hiccup, but that has been taken care of, and you can get all your Freedom Friends merch at redactedsupply.com. And you can try to use whatever code you want to use, but it is not going to work.
What about your sweet meats?
Oh yeah, because we walked right through lunch with this one, fellas.
Yeah, if you're rubbing your meat with CBD, but need to rub your meat for the meal afterwards,
head on over to grillyourassoff.com and use that code FF15.
Remember to smoke meat, not meth.
Yes, please.
By the way, I need to actually, to all of our freedom friends out there, in the weirdness that is going on in our current climate, job searching and all that kind of happy, fun stuff. I had a conversation with, I'm going to talk to you boys about it before I give too much information, but I did have a conversation with a company that does veteran job placement and stuff like that.
Nice.
For headhunting and stuff like that, specifically for the veteran world. And it looks like they're going to become part of the show. And,
Nice.
Nice.
willing to
That'd
sponsor
be
the show
awesome.
and stuff like that. So just a heads up on this pay the bills section is probably going to get a little bit longer because
I'm okay with that.
we're but that one is definitely a service that they're trying to get veterans. It's veteran owned, veteran operated, all that kind of stuff. But it's they're looking to get behind the show. They like what we talk about
Nice.
and want to help the veteran community out there. So
I would like to think that they haven't listened.
I've highly encouraged them not to listen.
Perfect.
And
Sucker man.
Yeah. And
No, it's-
last but not least, if you're looking for some insurance for any way, shape, or form, ATVs, motorcycles, vehicles, home, life, boat, guns, whatever you want.
supplemental too, if you need that Aflac game.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Hit up Robertson Insurance Group. And we're still trying to get a good website for him. He's behind the times.
He'll come
Call
around.
that boy.
He'll come around.
Yeah. But look it up.
Either that, or if you need to find out, hit up John or I, and
I think
we'll pass on that.
I think
info.
what we're probably going to do, if you're listening to the show and made it this far in, on the Freedom Friends Facebook group,
Yeah, there you go.
we're probably going to go make a like affiliate sponsor sticky post that has all the links,
Ooh, I
contact
like sticky
info,
posts.
Nice.
coupon codes, and all that stuff right there is kind of a hey, go check these people out.
I got to apologize to that page. I haven't really been back on since I kicked Mal off.
Yeah, but you let
That
her
was
back
like
in.
day one.
I think
That was like day one.
I think I made her mad.
Well, I know I did.
I think I made her mad because
yeah.
I don't know, because we were talking about puppies the other day, so I don't know. Maybe I didn't make her mad or whatever.
I should.
She tried to throw some shade, and I threw it back, and I think I might have gotten a little heart.
Well,
and upset.
she's not the only one in that group, and I apologize to the group. I should be more active in that group.
It's growing. We're getting new requests every day. Hey, by the way, for all of you Freedom Friends Facebook members that are out there, when you see like randos, if they're getting approved and they're in and they're fucking not there, fucking let one of us know so we can fucking get rid of that. Because I'm seeing some. I've been filtering them out and getting rid of them. But people that we do look when you ask to become part of the group, and if I see that like you founded your fucking account 7 days ago and you have like no friends and no
Or
groups
if you're
and no
a
nothing,
hot chick named Habib,
yeah, you're gone.
You
Like
probably
you're not
won't be-
gonna get in. So,
you probably won't get in.
but keep the memes coming because a
that's
lot of
not their
those have been
names?
fucking glorious.
I thought that's what their names were. Fuck.
No, yeah,
Oh, the memes are
the
fucking
memes are
great.
fucking phenomenal.
I've been doing my
What's
part.
this group called?
Freedom Friends, I think it's literally the Freedom Friends podcast, but it's a group. So there's the page for the show, and
a
then there's the
Facebook
group page. There's the Facebook group page, and
Yeah.
so
Come on in. The water's nice.
the water's nice, but it is you have to ask to join so that we can make sure that we are filtering out all the bots and all
And
that
don't
kind of
report
stuff.
anything. If you have
If
an
you're gonna
issue,
report,
send
just
us a
don't join.
message.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't report.
Well, we
don't
just
get
want the
people put in
message so we
Facebook
know
jail.
who's
Just
reporting
let
so
us
we
know.
can remove you from
Somebody
the group.
said some shit or whatever. We'll handle it, but you don't need to fucking go to Facebook.
I feel like it's a pretty self-correcting group.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So we covered what we learned. We paid the bills. So I'm going to raise my glass.
I like this part.
And say thank you to you sons of bitches for being my Freedom Friends. Even you, Dave.
Cheers, Dave.
We love you,
Yeah.
bud. And tell your mom.
Tell your friends.
Tell your mom's friends
I'm still single.
that Dave's single and looking to give out mustache rides.
He's got a pretty sweet mustache.
He does. Dude, I wish you'd just go back to the stash. That shit was epic. You're growing the rest in, and I'm so upset right now.
Yeah,
Dude,
Did not take long to grow the rest back
No.
in.
No.
it's a strong beard game.
Yeah.
But the stash game,
Yeah, no. Full beard's coming back.
ooh, the stash was sexy.
It's gonna be longer than John's in no time at all.
Oh, I'm about to get mine trimmed again next week. So
See, now I feel like I can
It's
grow
gonna be-
mine back out because you're going short.
I'm
and I
going
can balance. I can balance the table back
Well,
out.
it's gonna
but,
be shorter.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I got my beard trimmed. Everyone's like, "Oh, bro, you lost weight and you look 10 years younger." I'm like, "Fuck, I'm never growing my beard out again."
Do you know? I keep mine short because it's literally easier.
That's
Like I have
true.
the trimmer and I know the guard and I just and it's
Yeah.
just like I don't have to worry about it getting all fucking scraggly and wild and shit like that.
The funniest thing is I'll ride to work with John in the morning, and he'd gotten so used to sitting there and playing with his beard. Like he'll be sitting there, and all of a sudden you see a hand go about halfway up.
There's nothing.
It's like there's nothing to play with, and you see this like
you build the habit quick because when I had my quarantine beard, when it was actually getting long, you do build the habit quick of like
It just feels so nice.
Unfortunately, I like to eat at the Y every now and then, so I'm gonna keep mine non-existent.
That was my thing. So it's also just easier to maintain. So anyways, with all being covered, God damn it. Out of all the advice that we threw out today about not being a shitty person, you know what? It really boils down to 3 pretty simple fucking things. Davey, what's that first step?
Smoke on.
There you go. John?
Drink on.
Oh, and God damn it, boys.
Freedom
the fuck on.
I'm glad we didn't ask Scott in the first place. He hasn't been good at getting that right.
He's not been on point for that.
We're out of order.
Yeah, I waited for the follow-up. That's how we do it. All right, fucking go out. Make the world a better place instead of being a shitbag.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Fucking smoke and drink.
Storm this Capitol, bitches.